Hello everyone, my name is Brian, or Gak as I'm often referred to. I have put together this little video here for you guys. I wanted to show you about a little small suite of utilities to help GMs share their content that they created in the game, or to take the content that they maybe have bought with a module. For example, in this example here, I'm showing it inside of um, uh, Pathfinder adventure here, the Abomination Vault. We're going to start with this. This should be relatively system agnostic. You ought to be able to use this regardless of the system that you're playing inside Foundry. It does require version 13, however, though, and the module is activated same way that you activate any module inside Foundry. Let's go ahead and return to setup here, and I can show you the particular module we're looking for. In here, you're going to want to type. It's called Journal Resolver Exporter, and that's my module there. You'll click to install it, and once it's installed, of course, you need to enable it in your game. So let's hop back over in here again real quick. And I have tested this in obviously D&D 5e as well as in Crucible, so I can say for sure it's compatible with those systems as well. But here we go. Let's just show you inside here. So if we go over to the Journal tab and open it up, I've of course got it enabled in this world. Uh, Surely by now you know how to enable modules. I'm not going to bore you with that. But now that you've got the module installed and excuse me, and enabled, you click on your folder over here. And let's pick a journal to start with. So let's start with a simple one. Let's start with what's one that's got some imaging in it here that will be fun to show you. Because that's one of the nice things about this module is it also exports artwork. So this is a good journal here. Let's do this one. So the toolkit. So if you open the toolkit, uh, or any module that you, or excuse me, journal that you want to export, you will see that this module has included a button up here at the top here for you. If you mouse over it, it'll say export resolved zip. Additionally, you can also export entire folders by clicking the button over here at the top. But we'll start with just the simple journal one right here first though. So let's click to export that, and it would download's already started. Uh, this downloads in a web browser because I'm using Chrome. If you're using another uh, like application to play Foundry, and I know there's a couple slimmed down clients out there that are user or that are pre-set up to run Foundry more efficiently. You may get a save as dialog box as well, but one way or another, it'll download will start automatically. You just may have to choose a download location, or it may download automatically. So it's downloaded automatically. So we got that one to start with. So let's go ahead and now do an example of a folder one. So here we got chapters folder. It's got a lot of chapters inside of it. So let's try to export that. So we're going to choose not the Abomination Vault. Let's choose the chapters folder here, and we'll click export. And again, you get the little tag up here that tells you when that it's working. And then boom, it's done, and you see that the download's completed. All right, with that said, now let's tab over to the actual exporter itself, the Windows application. Once you've got that installed and you run it, this is the user interface. So it's pretty straightforward and pretty simple. You click the Open Journals zip here, and you go to your Downloads folder. Here's the two that we just did. We did the Adventures Toolbox one and the Chapters folder. Uh, let's just open them and take a look inside real quick here before we actually do it. So when you export just a journal using a module, you get the exported journal as this journal.json file in the root, but additionally, it creates an assets folder, and all the artwork that was in that journal is saved here. Uh, and then now the exporter, this program that we're, or excuse me, the PDF generator, can now read those assets from outside the world environment, and we can generate some pretty nice PDFs, as you'll see here for an example in a minute. Additionally, for the chapters one, which was a whole folder, let's just take a look inside that real quick. Additionally, since it contains many journals, it now creates a manifest.json instead, and all the journals are inside the journals folder that were in there. And like before, you've got an assets folder which has all the images in it as well. So that's what you've just created with the module itself here. So now let's start with the short one first, the journal export, which is was the Adventure Toolbox one that we did. Let's open it. Now it defaults to selecting everything. You get the little table of contents over here, and you can drill down and select and unselect what you don't want. You can, if you open the wrong journal and you didn't mean to do it, well, you can remove this journal right there. You can select all, which it defaults as automatically, or you can select none and then go in here and just choose individual sections that you want. But for the purpose of this demonstration, let's just do a select all. Once you're satisfied with what you want to include in it, you simply click the Generate PDF button and then give it a location. So let's call, this is the toolbox. So let's just call this toolbox.pdf. And a little pop-up will let you know that it's working, it's doing something. Now, depending on the size of the journal and how many images it has in it, it could take a minute or so here. So let's just give it a second, and I may pause the video and then wrap up with it or resume it here once it's done. Let's see how long this takes though. Okay, so it just finished. It took maybe a minute and a half or so, no more than 2 minutes. So we click OK. Now we'll go over to the folder. And here now we have the Toolbox PDF that we just created. So let's double click to open that. Let me drag that over into this window. And so you get the name of the folder or the journal that we did. It's Adventure Toolbox. Scroll down on it. I'm just using my mouse wheel to scroll. Now you got a very handy table of contents that was created. And what's nice is that it's actually active. You can click on it. So let's click on History of Otari, and it automatically jumps to that section. At the top and bottom of each page is a link to go back. The AI assistant's just blocking the one at the bottom there, but you can go back to the table of contents this way. Let's go to Exploring Otari. And look, you got nice images that are embedded in there as well. We could scroll through and we could see all the character artwork that was included as well. And why the module is important is not only because it includes the assets that you wouldn't be able to get with a standard Foundry journal export, which produces a JSON as well, but everything in it, if you try to convert that to a PDF, won't include the images because, again, the standard Foundry journal export doesn't embed the images. It just has text links that tell the Foundry gaming system where the assets are for that journal, and then it renders them in real time. It pulls them in, links them in, just kind of like a web page does, right? Well, this module will gather those assets, put them in that assets folder, and then when you go to generate the PDF, now the desktop application has access to them, and you can do a lot more with a desktop application than you can, I think, at least inside Foundry itself with at least I'm more comfortable doing it, so that's why I broke it out into a separate desktop program. Additionally, the module handles other embedded links too, which otherwise would just be gobbledygook inside the PDF file. So, for example, here, the following journal entry, and you see here is it says campaign timeline, and inside the journal, this would have been a link to jump to a journal with the title campaign timeline. But of course, you can't do that inside a PDF though, right? But had we not used the module to create the JSON file instead, you would see gobbledygook inside here to all the text that contained and made up the link that would open this campaign timeline. Similarly, let's see if we can find another example as I scroll through here. But actors, a lot of times inside journals, you have links to actors, maybe even macros and scenes and stuff. Well, again, they would all be contained inside uh, uh, like markup language, tags and stuff that tell the gaming system. Here's an example, I think. Yeah. So this would be Ladia's Lament. That's probably a link someplace. But yeah, it just makes it all more legible. So here we go. Here's a level 2 dispel magic from sound body. These would in the actual journal, if you clicked them, would have popped up something inside the game. Simply exporting it again would have been just a bunch of crazy text. The module, though, having access to everything inside, it's able to get some basic information about what was intended to be linked in there and still present it in a legible or usable format in a PDF. So here I just encased them all in brackets to let you know that that was supposed to be a link to something. In this case, it was a link to the Dispel Magic, probably spell, I'm guessing. Uh, and there we go. So you can click back on that, and when we're done, we just exit it here. Now let's take a look at the folder one that we did. So let's go in here and let's just remove this journal, and let's open the chapters one that we did here. And you can see each of the chapters has its own title with all the pages in the journal there. You can collapse all these down, get just whatever you want. This could take a second to generate this PDF, so we will see. I'll go ahead and click Generate PDF though with everything selected. And let's just call this folder export PDF. And I'm going to pause while this builds. Okay, that took maybe 2 minutes and some change to finish. So let's go ahead now and go over to the folder that's got that PDF. Let's open it. Let me drag that over into this monitor again. And here we go. Foundry Virtual Tabletop Journals, because it was a folder extract. And here we go. You'll see chapter 1 is the fog of light. You scroll through, we'll see eventually chapter 2. There we go. All the folders. You see it's got a pretty long table of contents because we did a whole folder worth of stuff, right? So let's just pick any place. Let's just go here. All the artwork's imported in, and again, you've got the embedded links for the actor that would have been just gobbledygook, or now tells you that, hey, that's the actor's name that would have been there. And we can go back to the table of contents. Let's scroll down. Let's look at Baltox Chambers. Baltox Chambers. Again, more artwork, all included. Makes very usable PDFs for you to do what you want with it. So this is its initial release. I have it in right now, version 1.01. I just put out a little bug fix today to fix it was throwing a couple errors on some of the tags that were embedded into it, but it seems to be more stable today. So I'm putting this out here as 1.01, and it's free to use for anybody that's interested in using it. So hope you find it helpful. Some things I've got in mind if you aren't interested in this is I want to, right now it's obviously a blank background on the PDF, and that's mainly to make it printer friendly in case you wanted to print it. Um, but I'm going to also include options to add a background like a scroll, for example, or some parchment paper, or to give you an option to specify your own image to use as a background as well, possibly. But that's something that I've got planned as well. So you could really make some very attractive PDFs. And that might be a feature that's more, I guess, interesting to a developer, somebody who makes their own games or their own adventures or encounters, and you're looking for a way to produce a little PDF off of your Foundry journals to accompany maybe a digital download that you may, you know, be providing along with it, and without a lot of extra work on your half. And now you can do a PDF that's actually usable as well. So again, those are features I got planned coming, and I'm open to suggestions for other features. Additionally, I'm gonna look into maybe retaining some of the formatting that you see in the journal, like maybe putting the image somehow or another. If I could, I'm learning to do this as I do it, but it would be nice to maybe simulate some of this formatting in the PDF as well too. Again, I can't make any promises on that, but that would be ideal, right? To make it look as pretty much visually the same as your journal, but in a PDF. So that's the ultimate goal, is to get to there. But with this version, it's what you got, and I hope you enjoy it. Again, if you have any comments or questions, you can reach me on Discord. Um, my Discord information is available in the module links and probably on the GitHub too, where you could download both of these. So if you go to the Foundry website and you look through there for my module that way, there will be a link on there to the GitHub where you can get the desktop application itself. Let's see, do I have it open? Maybe I can just show it to you here real quick too. Here we go. Let's move this over. So here's my Git. I'm GACY2K on GitHub, so you can find me on there. I've got two repositories set up. Let's just go here to my repositories. One is for the module, the journal resolver exporter, and the other one is for the journal PDF, the desktop application. So the journal module itself is easy to get with that inside Foundry. I've already showed you how to do that. Of course, you can come here and get it this way as well. If you come in through here, you go over to versions, and all you need is to copy the link to the JSON file here, and you could paste it inside Foundry as well and get it that way, or you could just download the zip file here if you prefer to do manual installations yourself with the zip file. That's how you get that. Let's go back, and now over at the Git for the executable itself. Yeah, come over here to the releases again. Here's the one I just put out today for the bug fix. Uh, I've got it pre-compiled for you here already inside the zip file here is an executable that I just was just using on the screen to show you. You can get it straight away there, or if you want to compile it yourself, the source code is also in there as well. And on the main README in here, I give some instructions on how to do that if you wanted to. I haven't put the bug fix in here, but here's a little summary of it with a screenshot and teaches a little bit on how to run it from source if you're a developer and you want to just do it yourself, or if you're a little leery of downloading executables off the internet and you'd rather would look through the source yourself and build it yourself. Well, that's understandable. Well, this will hopefully help you do that yourself. And again, a little bit of information with some screenshots here on the inside the module, how to use the module. And there will also be a link to the I thought I had a link on here somewhere to the back to the module, but I don't guess I do. Well, there you go. There's the gets and where to get it. Sorry this ran long, but hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for watching.